Welcome back. I want you to picture a street, any major city in the world. London, Shanghai, Dubai, Los Angeles. What is flowing past you? 10 years ago, you would have seen sedans. Low, sleek, elegant. Today, you are looking at walls. Tall, imposing, heavy. You are looking at luxury SUVs. Once upon a time, the idea of a luxury sport utility vehicle was a contradiction. SUVs were tools. They were for farmers, for rangers, for families who actually needed to ford rivers or climb muddy hills. Luxury was for limousines. But somewhere in the past 2 decades, something shifted. The world fell in love with height, with presence, with the feeling of sitting above traffic, looking down, commanding the road. And the automotive industry responded. Every single prestige manufacturer now builds an SUV. Ferrari, the last holdout, finally surrendered with the Purosangue. Aston Martin has the DBX. Lamborghini has the Urus. Rolls-Royce has the Cullinan. Bentley has the Bentayga. Porsche has the Cayenne and the Macan. Mercedes-Benz has the G-Class, the GLS, the EQS SUV. BMW has the X5, X6, X7, XM. Range Rover has ruled this segment for decades, and newcomers like the Lotus Electre and the Ferrari Purosangue are redefining what an SUV can even be. But here's the question that drives our next 6 hours and 40 minutes together. In a sea of towering, expensive, powerful machines, which one is truly the best? And more importantly, best at what? Because a luxury SUV can mean many things. It can mean the ultimate off-road warrior, like the Mercedes G-Class. It can mean the ultimate on-road grand tour, like the Lamborghini Urus. It can mean the ultimate mobile sanctuary, like the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. It can mean the ultimate technological statement, like the BMW XM or the Lotus Electre. Over the course of this episode, we are going to count down the top 10 luxury SUVs on the market today. But this is not a simple list of prices or horsepower figures. This is a deep dive into the philosophy, the engineering, the design, and the ownership experience of each vehicle. We will start at number 10 and work our way to number 1. And along the way, we will discover what luxury truly means in the age of the SUV. Let me give you the structure before we begin. For each of the 10 vehicles, we will explore 4 dimensions. First, the origins and philosophy. Why does this vehicle exist? What problem does it solve? What statement does it make? Second, the performance and engineering. What is under the hood? How does it handle? Is it built for the road, the dirt, or both? Third, the design and experience. What does it feel like to sit inside, to drive it, to be seen in it? And fourth, the ownership, legacy, and future. Does it hold its value? Is it exclusive? Where is the brand taking this model next? By the end of this episode, you will not only know which luxury SUV deserves the crown, you will understand why the rise of the luxury SUV is one of the most fascinating stories in automotive history. You will see how these machines have replaced the limousine, the grand tour, and even the private jet for a certain class of buyer. And you will be able to walk into any dealership or any conversation with absolute authority. So, let us begin. Let us climb into the driver's seat, adjust the air suspension to its highest setting, and start the countdown. Number 10 on our list is a vehicle that surprises some people. It is not from a traditional luxury brand. It is not European. It is American. But it has redefined what an electric SUV can be, and it has forced every other manufacturer on this list to take notice. Number 10 is the Rivian R1S. Now, when I say luxury, some of you might raise an eyebrow. Rivian is a startup. It was founded in 2009 by R.J. Scaringe, an MIT-trained engineer who wanted to build electric adventure vehicles. The R1S, which launched in 2021, was designed from the ground up as an electric SUV for people who actually go off-road. But here's the thing. Luxury is not only about leather and wood. Luxury is also about capability, about technology, and about the freedom to go anywhere without compromise.
The Rivian R1S starts at around $78,000, which puts it in the same price bracket as a well-optioned BMW X5 or Mercedes GLE. But the R1S offers something those vehicles cannot. It offers a genuine off-road capability combined with electric power. The R1S has 4 electric motors, one at each wheel, allowing for true torque vectoring. It can wade through 3 feet of water. It has an adjustable air suspension that can raise the ground clearance to nearly 15 inches. It can climb 100% grade. This is not a soft roader. This is a proper off-road vehicle. But the R1S is also luxurious. The interior is minimal but beautifully executed. The materials are sustainable but premium. The dashboard is dominated by a massive touchscreen, but the user interface is intuitive and responsive. The seats are supportive and comfortable for long journeys. The cabin is quiet, even at highway speeds, and the storage is genius. The front trunk, or frunk, is large enough for a full-size suitcase. There's a hidden storage compartment under the rear seats. The rear tailgate opens like a pickup truck, making it easy to load gear. The performance is staggering. The quad-motor R1S produces 835 horsepower and 908 pound-feet of torque. It accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. That's supercar territory. And yet, the R1S can also tow 7,700 pounds. It can carry 5 adults and 2 children in the optional third row. It can drive 300 miles on a single charge. So why is the Rivian R1S only number 10 on our list? Because luxury is also about heritage, about dealership support, and fit and finish. Rivian is still a young company. The build quality, while good, is not yet at the level of a Mercedes or a Range Rover. The service network is growing but still limited, and the brand cachet, the intangible sense of status that comes with a European luxury badge, is not fully developed. The R1S is an extraordinary vehicle. It deserves its place on this list, but the vehicles above it have decades of refinement and prestige that Rivian cannot yet match. Nevertheless, the R1S is a warning shot to the establishment. It proves that electric SUVs can be capable, luxurious, and thrilling. And as Rivian matures, it will climb higher on this list. Number 9 takes us from California to Japan. Number 9 is the Lexus TX. Now, Lexus has been building luxury SUVs for decades. The RX, launched in 1998, essentially invented the modern luxury crossover. But the RX is a 5-seater. For families who need 3 rows of seating, Lexus offered the GX and the LX. The GX is based on the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. It is capable but dated. The LX is based on the Toyota Land Cruiser. It is magnificent but enormous and thirsty. The TX, launched in 2023, is something new. It's a purpose-built 3-row luxury SUV designed specifically for North American families. It shares its platform with the Toyota Grand Highlander, but Lexus has transformed it. The TX is not an off-road warrior. It's a pavement princess, and it makes no apologies for that. The philosophy is simple: give families space, comfort, and quiet without forcing them to drive a school bus. The TX is available with 3 powertrains. The base TX 350 uses a turbocharged 4-cylinder producing 275 horsepower. It is adequate but not exciting. The TX 500H uses the same engine with a hybrid system producing 366 horsepower and adding all-wheel drive. The TX 550H Plus is a plug-in hybrid with a V6 and an electric range of over 30 miles. But the numbers don't tell the story. The story is the interior. Lexus has mastered the art of the quiet, comfortable, impeccably assembled cabin. The TX is not flashy. It does not scream for attention, but every surface you touch feels premium. Every control operates with damped precision. The seats are among the most comfortable in the segment. The third row is actually usable for adults, which is rare in this class. The TX also benefits from Lexus reliability. This is not a minor consideration. When you spend $70,000 or more on a vehicle, you do not want to spend your weekends at the dealership. Lexus consistently ranks at the top of reliability surveys. The TX will start every morning. It will run for 200,000 miles with nothing more than routine maintenance. That is a form of luxury that no amount of horsepower can replace. But the TX is not exciting. It is not desirable in the way that a Range Rover or a Porsche Cayenne is desirable. It's rational, it's sensible, and for that reason it sits at number 9. It's an excellent vehicle for the head, but it does not speak to the heart. Number 8 is where things start to get truly interesting. Number 8 is the Aston Martin DBX. When Aston Martin announced they were building an SUV, the traditionalists wept. Aston Martin was James Bond. Aston Martin was the DB5, the V8 Vantage, the elegant Grand Tour. How could they stoop to building a tall, heavy utility vehicle? Then the DBX arrived in 2020 and the weeping stopped. The DBX is not an SUV that happens to be an Aston Martin. It's an Aston Martin that happens to be.
Number 4 is where we enter the true upper echelon. Number 4 is the Bentley Bentayga. The Bentayga, launched in 2015, was the first luxury SUV. It was the first vehicle to take the concept of an SUV and apply the full resources of a true luxury brand. The Bentayga defined the segment. Every vehicle on this list owes something to the Bentayga. The current Bentayga, updated in 2020, is the most refined version yet. It is available with several powertrains. The V8 uses a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 producing 542 horsepower. The hybrid uses a V6 with an electric motor producing 455 horsepower and offering 25 miles of electric range. The Speed uses a 6.0-liter twin-turbo W12 producing 626 horsepower. The W12 is being phased out, but it remains one of the great engines of our time. The Bentayga is not a sports car. It is a grand tourer. It is designed to cover vast distances in absolute comfort. The air suspension is pillowy soft. The noise insulation is extraordinary. At 80 miles per hour, you hear nothing but a faint whisper of wind. The seats are among the most comfortable in any vehicle. You could drive a Bentayga from London to Monaco, arrive fresh, and do it again the next day. The interior is classic Bentley. Diamond quilted leather, real wood veneers, metal switchgear that feels cold to the touch. The craftsmanship is extraordinary. Every stitch is perfect. Every surface is aligned. The optional Mulliner package adds even more luxury, with unique wheels, unique leather, and a signature diamond pattern on the seats. The Bentayga is also practical. The cargo area is generous. The rear seats are spacious. The towing capacity is 7,700 pounds. You can daily drive a Bentayga. You can road trip a Bentayga. You can take it to the opera or to the ski slope. So why is the Bentayga only number 4? Because it is subtle. Too subtle, perhaps. The Bentayga does not scream. It does not shout. It whispers. And for some buyers, that is the point. They want luxury without ostentation. They want to fly under the radar. But for other buyers, the Bentayga does not make enough of a statement. It looks like a very nice SUV, but it does not look like a $200,000 SUV. The Bentayga is for the quietly wealthy. For the loudly wealthy, there are vehicles higher on this list. Number 3 is a vehicle that bridges the gap between the Bentayga and the ultimate luxury SUVs. Number 3 is the Lamborghini Urus. The Urus, launched in 2018, was controversial in exactly the same way the Cayenne was controversial. Lamborghini was about drama, about excess, about low-slung supercars. How could they build an SUV? Then the Urus arrived, and the controversy ended. The Urus is the most successful Lamborghini in history. It has doubled the brand's sales. It has funded the development of the Revolecto and every future Lamborghini. The Urus is not subtle. It is not quiet. It is not understated. The Urus is a missile. It is a supercar disguised as an SUV. Under the hood, it shares its engine with the Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT and the Audi RS Q8, a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 producing 657 horsepower.
The Urus Performante, launched in 2022, boosts that to 666 horsepower. The numbers are staggering. 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, top speed of 190 miles per hour. The Urus accelerates like a supercar and stops like a race car. The carbon ceramic brakes are massive. The all-wheel drive system can send up to 70% of torque to the rear wheels. The rear-wheel steering makes the Urus feel smaller and more agile than it is. But the Urus is not just about straight-line speed. It handles. The air suspension lowers the car at speed. The adaptive dampers stiffen in Corsa mode. The steering weights up and becomes precise. The Urus changes direction with urgency. It rotates, it grips, it attacks corners in a way that no vehicle this heavy has any right to do. The interior is classic Lamborghini, aggressive, angular, fighter jet inspired. The start button is under a red flip cover. The drive mode selector looks like a weapon selector. The seats are heavily bolstered. The hexagonal motifs are everywhere. The infotainment system is borrowed from Audi, which is a good thing because it works well. The Urus is also practical. The cargo area is large. The rear seats are spacious. The ground clearance can be raised for snow or light off-road use. You can daily drive an Urus. You can road trip an Urus. You can take it to the track on the weekend. So why is the Urus only number 3? Because it is too common. That sounds strange to say about a Lamborghini, but the Urus has been so successful that you see them everywhere. In any major city, you will see multiple Uruses. The exclusivity that once defined Lamborghini has been diluted. The Urus Performante and the upcoming Urus SE hybrid will restore some exclusivity, but for now, the Urus is not as special as it once was. The Urus also faces a fundamental criticism. It is not a real Lamborghini. It shares its platform with the Cayenne, the Bentayga, and the RSQ8. The engine is not a V12. The doors do not open upward. The Urus is a Lamborghini in name and styling, but not in soul. For buyers who want the full Lamborghini experience, the Reveletto or the Huracan are the choices. The Urus is a compromise. It is a brilliant compromise, but a compromise nonetheless.